So they're saying that my boy's got too much aura. Oh, welcome to the Pixel Primos Video Game Podcast, the show where we talk about all the latest things in gaming, from closing cases like Phoenix Wright to crying like an anime fan on prom night. Hey, I'm Juan Solo.
And what was the other thing in that fucking trailer? And I make explosions look like pizzas. I'm JJ.
I wonder how many of the alphas would get those jokes, get those references. It's from Mighty Number 9. The trailer.
The super fighting robot.
All right.
Man.
But speaking of mega people, or alphas.
Acknowledge them.
And
Well,
yes,
we should probably also acknowledge the missing Primo.
Yes. Yes, unfortunately, Paco could not join us for this episode due to a family emergency.
Everything's
Hopefully,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
So
Hopefully, everything's okay. It'll be all right. Likewise, we will be taking a break next week, so there will be no new episode next week until the following week. And all honesty, that one is just because I am going on vacation after a much needed vacation after all the traveling and everything and tests I've had to do for work. Lord knows I needed a break. So we'll be taking a break next week, but hopefully, if everything goes well, we should be back the following week in late July. So yeah, so just hang tight with this, Alphas. We'll still be giving y'all some content very soon. But yes, let us now acknowledge some alphas. First things first, we got a new subscriber.
woo!
Yeah, Marvin Jackson. Welcome to the pack. You are a
Welcome.
true alpha. And as far as comments go, we did get a comment on our previous Alpha Primos. We were talking about some internet dramas that was going on. Let me pull up the comment real quick. Comment comes from Super Saiya Chicken 5110 saying, "Never thought I'd take H3's side on this. This must be what the Z Warriors felt when Piccolo joined the squad." I know, right? And funny enough, I mentioned this to like a friend. We were talking about it, and yeah, we were all kind of on the same page as far as like the whole like man like that one person you don't like is like right for once type deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I've mentioned on the podcast that I was a fan of H3 before all of this recent bullshit. Mhm.
Yeah. I knew of him. I knew of H3, like it was always just there. But I never
Mhm.
really watched it, so like I never would have called myself a fan. But I also like didn't hate him.
Mhm.
But now with all this drama and like to be honest, some of the wounds are self inflicted, bro. Like
Yeah, it's and that's what I was like telling my friend that like I feel like a lot of the drama, especially recently, it just stems from him just being online like a lot and not learning to like think before you like say something. He kind of just like reacts without thinking it through, and he ends up saying something that he doesn't really mean, and it just puts him in even more problems. But I do think recently it's just that like he's just been so chronically online that it's like, bro, you gotta disconnect. You gotta like back off. It's not healthy. Like what you're doing, especially like to yourself from this. But I think he is like now like taking a break, so uh good
Well,
on
he's got like
him. And
5 lawsuits that he's
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I guess if there's any more updates on it, I guess we could do that for a future Primos discussion. But we'll just have to wait and see. But the only other thing I would have to like comment on it is I saw like a lawyer react to it. Oh shit, I don't have it pulled up. Otherwise, it.
legal
Uh,
mindset.
I think it was that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that he reacted to the video where he announced that he was suing, and just to give like a short summary, even like that attorney was like, yeah, they kind of self-reported. It doesn't look good for them. So yeah, we'll see how things go. But all right, we'll move on from that. And as always, alphas, leave us some comments, and we'll be sure to read them on
unless they're on
the
Spotify.
yeah. Oh my God, we should talk about that. Yeah. Um,
Shout
I
him out.
I thank you for reminding me, because see, I was about to forget again. So yeah, for you alphas, we do upload these episodes. We don't upload Pixel Primos, and this episode's a Pixel Primos, so it's not going to be on Spotify. We upload Alpha Primos on Spotify. With that said, we've had an alpha, Marvin J, leaving us comments
Oh, is there a new
last month.
subscriber too?
Um, I don't know,
He
but
might be.
I like to think that if they're leaving comments, it's because they are subscribed. So I I am giving this person the status of alpha just for leaving multiple comments. But yes, Marvin J has left us some comments on the Alpha Primos over on Spotify. And so we just felt that yeah, we should probably acknowledge these one. Holy shit. Our new subscriber is Marvin Jackson. I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That like
Yeah.
isn't here a new subscriber.
Yes, he subscribed. Yes, god damn it. I'm
He
just
got tired of us ignoring him.
yeah. Marvin, I'm sorry, dude. I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I'm really trying.
This was a real
Uh,
like this was a
yeah.
real Dexter's Lab like, oh Didi, you know I never look back there.
But yeah, so Marvin, yes, you've gained the status of alpha. Confirmed. But yeah, he left us 2 comments. He left us on our one of our spooky season episodes. Oh yeah, it was our collab with Spooky Mysteries, where we're talking about horror movies. He left a comment saying, "Oops, all headless." And on our San Antonio Shenanigans 2024 video, he left a comment saying, "My late night spot to go when in San Antonio is Taquitos West Avenue. Best tacos I've had in a good while."
uh,
I'm
nice.
like, have we gone there?
I don't think so. Like back in my college days, we would always go to Chachos
Yes,
for the
chachos for
Chachos
the nachos.
for the Chachos King Kong nacho.
Yes, they were
it
great.
it was a big ass plate, alphas.
Yeah,
Like I am not kidding you when I say this thing was a huge, just like plate of nachos. And when usually when you order nachos at like at I don't know Twin Peaks, they have nachos, right? They have
Mm.
tatas. They have to have nachos. Um, uh, they usually ask you, you want beef or chicken? At Chacho's, you get everything. Like they make a pyramid of
It's
nachos,
a yeah, like
and, and like every wall of the pyramid is a different protein. Like
yep,
you get
yeah. One side's
beef on
got the
one.
beef, the other side's got the chicken, and
I think one
and
side's al pastor. Like,
yeah,
like it's all.
and I need to stress to the alphas that I had gone to Chachos like several times, and I would always go with my group of friends, and you got to understand, like we are all some big back boisterous motherfuckers, and even we struggle to conquer that beast, even at our hungriest. So like no, it was worth it. We would legit just everyone just pay for your own like soda, and then we would all pitch in
For the
just
nacho.
for the nachos, and that's all we would eat. Just and oh man, I haven't gone there in years,
I don't
dude.
know if it's
Shit.
still open. Like it's COVID took down a lot of people. I'm pretty
Mm.
sure Chacho's is still around because it was one of those. Like I like to believe that it's still around, but I haven't actually checked.
Let me see. Chacho Senator. According to this, yeah, it's open 24 hours.
Fuck yeah.
And if I'm reading the map correctly, there's multiple chachos.
Yeah, there were multiple when I was
Mm-hmm.
in my college years. I didn't go to
Okay.
college in San Antonio, so it sounds weird to say when I was in
Mm-hmm.
college, because that like that implies to people that I actually was educated when I wasn't. I was raised by the streets. uh, but yeah, during my college years, when I would visit the bear, he went to college in San Antonio and dropped out. So
Mm.
he's got uh, a bigger dropout cred than I do. Uh,
Well, if their website is to be believed, there's three chachos in San Antonio with a fourth one on the way.
them them nachos opened that fourth location. That fourth location is only because of the nachos.
Right. Yeah. Okay. They have like a PDF of like their menu, and I'm like, those nachos are still there, right? Yep, right there. Here you go, Monster Kong nachos.
They can't call them King Kong nachos no
I guess not,
more. Or maybe they might have always been called that, but
but everybody calls them the King Kong
yeah,
nachos.
yeah, it's one of those things where like every soda's a Coke.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, there you go, chachos.
Chachos.
And
We
yeah,
recommend it if you're in the area, if you're in San
mm,
Antonio and you.
and yeah, and likewise, Marvin is recommending Taquitos West Avenue. I looked it up right now, and no, I have never been there. So it's a new place to check out. But I mean, TikTok, my feed, it always shows me like, hey, check out this new thing in San Antonio, and it's always like, man, where are these places popping up?
Yeah, well, at least I like that it's at least like showing me places that are like close, right? Like
Yeah.
it'll show me like, oh, check out this place in San Antonio. Check out this anime pop up in Houston. I'm like, those are
Mm-hmm.
like an hour away. I could make it to those. Like they're an hour and a half away for either one.
Mm-hmm.
But I get fucking triggered when it's like, oh, come help out our struggling business. We're family owned. Our food is great and blah blah. And I'm like, sure. Where the fuck are you? Fucking Idaho. I'm never going there. Get the
No,
fuck
yeah,
out of here.
yeah. I don't know how you could train the TikTok algorithm to like. Can you only show me places that are actually like in my state? And even then, that's like, because it's like, oh, come check out this cool new hip place, and it's like, awesome. Where is it? El Paso. fuck.
Yeah,
That
even
might
then
as
it's
well
like,
be a different state. it's, it's way too far from where I am.
bitch, that's the other side of the fucking border. Like,
Yep. And um, but yeah. So Marvin J, I apologize.
thank you for your recommendation. We'll
But
probably
yes,
hit up that place next time we're all there at the same
yeah,
time.
we'll see if we ever do another travel shenanigans video. Because to my understanding, we might have travel arrangements later this year.
We are?
So, uh, yes.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, we'll see. We'll talk more about it as we get closer to the date. And yeah, we'll see if we can hit up some places with Paco. And yeah, we'll do a video on that. All right, let us now jump into some of these topics. All right, first thing first, Capcom had a surprise presentation after all these like summer games showcases and whatnot. They thought, let's let's sneak one in there.
You know what I think it was?
What?
Because, well, go ahead and mention what game that they were showing off.
So they we're only going to talk about two because the presentation itself was just eh. But the two big things they showed off was Resident Evil 9. We'll get to that. But what they opened with is their new like sci-fi puzzle shooter game called Pragmata.
Hmm. Like
And
Stigmata, only
yes,
for pagans.
uh-huh, Pragier, if you will. So, um, and I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty cool. It definitely got my attention. The gist of it is that you're in space, right? Hence the sci-fi portion, and you find like this robot girl,
Roll.
sure, like Rolf from Mega Man, and now you're teaming up with her to fight off these other robots and trying to leave the space station or wherever the hell they are. Now this is where the puzzle portion comes in. So the robot girl, she clings onto your shoulder or your back. Think Pauline style, like with Donkey Kong in that Bonanza game.
Hmm.
And so it's a third person shooter, but the girl can hack the robot bad guys, and you got to do this little almost kind of like a slider like puzzle. And so if you solve the puzzle, you can deal extra damage to the robots when you shoot them with your gun. So, and again, you're solving the puzzle like in real time. So it's like the robot shows up, you try to solve the puzzle, and then you cap to finish him off. And I think that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
a
It looks interesting. See, here was the joke that I was going to make at the beginning. I think that they waited not for all the conferences to end. I think they waited for fucking Death Stranding 2 to come out. Because when they first announced this game on like the PlayStation 5 showcase, literally everybody and their mama was like, is that the guy from Kojima Productions? Like, Ludens is getting his own fucking game? Hell yeah! And then it shows off the Capcom logo, and you're like, wait, what the fuck is this? uh, but
fair.
all that said, because like in that teaser they didn't show off anything. They just showed off like the
Mhm.
premise, and it was yeah, big spaceman and little Goyle. You didn't even know that the little Goyle was a robot.
Uh-huh.
In that teaser, she just looked like a normal non-Meganified girl. uh, but now with this showcase, they showed off more of what the game's about, and hell yeah, it looks different. Like it looks interesting. You're right. I am curious to play it because I
Mhm.
do like puzzle games, and it's kind of rare for like a puzzle game that I really because like puzzle games come out right, like fucking Myst and whatever those like hardcore PC puzzle games have come out, but
Yeah.
I don't like those that much. I like fucking Puyo Puyo Tetris and
Yeah.
and Tetris Effect and shit like that. And this looks like it's putting Tetris Effect, or well, not Tetris Effect. It looks like it's putting a puzzle game in the style that I like, and also putting a shooter like at the same time, like they had a
Mhm.
baby. Um, and yeah, it looks fun. I'm
Yeah.
gonna check it out.
Yeah, and me, I'm just a sucker for games that cross like two genres that you don't think would like mix.
Mm.
So, think like your Stardew Valley that it's like a farming simulator, but then they crossed it with like like a dungeon crawler, hack and slash. What's the word? The what is it? Where it's randomly generated, procedurally generating. There you go. Uh,
Roguelike.
like roguelike. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, they crossed it with that. Where some people are like, "Wait, you can farm in this game?" They just do the cave shit.
That'd probably be me.
Yeah, but yeah, like stuff like that, or like Persona 5. That it's like like a well, like a romance sim crossed with a JRPG.
It's almost like a visual novel crossed with a JRPG because you have to.
Yeah,
Not all of them are romanceable. Um,
true.
like some of them are
It's.
just
Mhm.
fans. Because
But
I
yeah,
think it wasn't until 4 or 5 when they made like every single girl romanceable.
uh
I don't think they've made the boys
not
romanceable yet.
yet.
They haven't yet.
We'll see with this sixth one around the corner. I say to myself.
Maybe they'll
But yeah,
patch it in with the updated 4 because I know that for the 3 remake, um, they removed the penalty for cheating on your girlfriend. You can date them all now.
oh, you can. Well, we'll see. But but yeah, you get the idea. Like any games like that like cross genres or multiply or combine like I'm just a sucker for that. I always think that's really neat. So this seems to be in that similar vein of crossing puzzles with an action game. So that seems pretty neat. We'll see how that goes. But and the last thing we'll highlight from the Capcom spotlight is Resident Evil Requiem or Resident Evil 9. So this was more of like a developer interview rather than a full on like
Look at our sexy
presentation.
vampire lady.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong, they still showed off like some gameplay, but the developer interviews is really the meat of this presentation, and the the main thing that everyone's getting out of it is they brought up Leon being a protagonist, And they said that they didn't want to make Leon the protagonist because you Leon wouldn't be scared of these like creatures, these monsters, because he's seen everything at that point.
Mm.
So that's why they didn't opt to make him the sole protagonist.
He saw giant
And
centipedes
so
pop out of a priest's head.
yeah, yeah. Here we go. Here's the quote. He said, the director Koshi Nakanishi said, quote, "We always thought about making Leon the protagonist, but making a horror game based around him is difficult. He wouldn't jump at something like a bucket falling. No one wants to see Leon scared by every little thing. So he's actually quite a bad match for horror." End quote. So they're saying that my boy's got too much aura.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, like I get it.
I get it, but yeah, yeah. I mean, you could freak him out a little.
So I people are taking that quote and running it as like, oh man, well there goes no Leon protagonist, and I'm like, guys, I think this is the misdirection. Like like they're not outright saying like he's not in the game.
Yeah, they're not pulling a J.J. Abrams and saying like, no,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be Khan. Khan's not gonna be the bad guy in Star Trek 2. Get the fuck out of here. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
And like
And then fucking
5 minutes into the movie, I am Khan.
so but that's it. I'm gonna look real stupid when it's revealed that like it's not Leon as the other protagonist. It's Barry or something. um, but but yeah,
I
it's
would like
the
for it to be Rebecca. I like Zero, damn
yeah. There's a
it.
like or even any of the other women. Like Jill hasn't come back. Claire, there's plenty of them that could. That could come back, and so yeah, it would be two women protagonists in this one. But yeah, right now the rumor is that yeah, you are playing as uh what's her name, FBI agent Grace Ashcroft, and yeah, it's pretty much confirmed she is the daughter of the other Ashcroft from
Like
Resident Evil
Julia or
Outbreak.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
the reporter.
yep. So yeah, right now the rumor is that yeah, there's two characters. There's Grace, who is like the like you gotta run away and solve puzzles and hide from the bad guys protagonist, and that the second one is gonna be where like the action comes in. It's gonna be the more like I don't want to use the word badass, but the character that can use weapons and fights back. And so everyone was like, "Oh, it's gotta be Leon. Then it's gonna be Leon." Then, but no, it could be Claire. It could be Rebecca. It could be any of them. We don't know, or it could be a totally new character, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. But that is the rumor. But yeah, you guys should check out the full Capcom presentation, or if you only care about the Resident Evil, they got that separated as well in its own 5 minute video. Like I said, that does show off some gameplay that that it can switch from first person to third person in the
Oh,
settings.
that's
And
cool. Hell yeah.
yep, you can change that at your own preference.
I like Village and I like Seven, but
Uh-huh.
man, when Four remake came out, I was like, I missed this.
Yeah,
I,
and I mean, me personally, I always prefer third person or first person. That's to say I hate it, right? But I think I had mentioned when the Indiana Jones game came out that I'm like,
oh, when it
I,
showed off that it was first person, it was
it
like
was, I
it's losing
immediately
some
went from
points.
like, hell yeah
Yeah.
to, eh. With that said, I know it's still a good game, and even Paco has told us, like, no, check it out, it's really good. It really is just like another Indiana Jones movie. And yeah, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that I wouldn't try it. And let's face it, I'm just waiting for it to come out on PlayStation or something. Um, but yeah, but I just really would have preferred if it was third person. I want to see indie. But
Yeah,
yeah. So
that's
I think being able to pick is that's neat.
it's one of the weird things that I don't like about Bethesda games. Well, that comes off wrong. I like that Bethesda has such an in-depth like character creator. Like
Mhm.
you can like fucking make handsome Squidward if you want with their character creator. It allows
Mhm.
for that. But like 90% of the game you're not going to see this motherfucker because it's all
Yeah,
in
it's
first
in first
person. So
person.
is for the with the exception of maybe some cutscenes, but even then like in
Mm.
Skyrim none of the cutscenes are or in third
Yeah,
person, like they're all from
just the
first person.
glory kills.
Yeah, so and those are random. So
Yeah.
like, meanwhile, a game like Baldur's Gate 3 where you always see the character has like the most
The
limited
most.
fucking character creator, which is not to knock on it. It's a great game and the character creator, it is what it is. Like it gets the job done. But like, yeah, that's kind of weird that I can pick my character's background. I can make him
Yeah.
like the scoundreliest scoundrel of Baldur's Gate.
I mean, that was my thing with Cyberpunk. It's like, what's the point of having customizable genitals if you can't see them?
Or you can see him. You can walk around naked in your apartment and then just stare at the
Yeah,
mirror.
but it's still first person. um, but all right, we can move on from that. Uh, and we can talk about the uh, stop killing our games thing. Or
Yeah, the
game.
Stop Killing Games
Stop
initiative.
killing games initiative. Yes, we 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 briefly touched on it in the last of Primos.
Yeah.
Figured we could give an update on that situation. So, Pirate Software has
uh,
seemingly doubled down.
yeah, man, that's the thing. He's he's always when he was on the come up. I'm gonna tell this story from my perspective because
Okay.
when he was a dude that like randomly showed up on my TikTok feed or maybe even like YouTube shorts, and he was giving good advice. Now, I will give this one critique: the advice he was giving in terms of like finding a job, because I at the time when he started popping up was unemployed. Like Blizzard let me go, and here's this former Blizzard dev. That should have been my first red flag. uh, giving you advice on like, hey, like, uh, here's what you should do to like land another job or land a good job in game development. And it was good advice, but also if you just Google like what should I do to like get a good job, it's gonna give you like 80% of what
He
pirate
said,
software said. It's like, yeah, just have a one-page resume with references. I forgot the advice. It was so generic. Like it wasn't like it was good advice, but it wasn't like anything that was really like niche or catered
"Yeah,
to uh, a tech
yeah,
career. Even like video games aside, just like even just like a tech career didn't
yeah,
really hold up. I work at a tech company now. I did not use a one-page resume. uh, so I liked him because even though the advice was generic, it was still like good advice, and it was still overall he was a pretty positive person.
Mhm.
That said, I started to notice some like cracks in the armor when he would talk about like his time at Blizzard, and this could just be the fact that like he was in the development side of Blizzard, whereas I was just a fucking customer service peon.
Yeah.
So our experiences are going to be radically different just from that onset. But he would say something that was just like, that doesn't sound right to me. That wasn't at all like my experience
Yeah.
at Blizzard, at the same company. But I just chalked it up to like, you know what? It was a different uh,
Experience
office,
or yeah.
different experience. But when other people would sort of call him out on something like that, uh, he would double down a lot.
Hmm.
And it was more so noticeable on his live streams because those are, off the cuff and they're not as
Hmm.
edited. So in
Yeah.
his live streams, he went off a little bit more than he would on like on the shorts and everything. And that's when I
Yeah.
started to notice I'm like, I don't I don't know if you're cracked up to be here with the dog. And then yeah, he started catching L after L because I think the first thing I heard of him like catching an L was someone made a an indie game like a Steam game and they were using streamer clips as
Hmm.
like the voiceovers for some of the characters,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and they used a clip of him and they made him a roach, and he was like, that's copyright infringement, dog. Like, I didn't give you permission to use my voice, so we're going to sue you. They sent them a cease and desist, I think. I don't think they actually went through with the lawsuit, but it's like,
So, like, to comment on that, to my understanding, it was just an edited clip
mm.
of him putting, like, his voice, a sound effect, if you will, onto a clip of the game. It's not actually in the game. Like, you get it. It's not a cutscene. It was just a shit post.
So yeah, it
So
wasn't even in the game,
in the
and
game,
he,
yeah,
and he sent out a cease and desist. And around the same time, the whole the WoW hardcore mode controversy happened, where he
yeah,
just ran away from a fight and did everything wrong.
yeah.
And
Look at my mana. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do for you?
dog, if you don't know what you're supposed to do for me, you shouldn't be playing that character. I can tell you what you're not supposed to do: run, which is what you did.
True.
No, and that's not even the only example. Like after that happened, it was kind of like open season on
Yeah.
Pirate Software, and there were a handful of YouTube videos of people that I saw like, oh yeah, he used to play on like New World, like before New World was super broken, or
Hmm.
like after they fixed it, after the major patch or whatever. We
Yeah.
bullied the shit out of him and his guild because they can't fight. And then yeah, he showed me like there was like here's a bunch of clips of us just like wrecking the fuck out of him. So he always, and then like, look, I know I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, especially because I'm not good at WoW, but WoW is not hard. WoW is not a difficult game. It's it's what's his name? Dan Olson from Holding Ideas. He's made several videos on WoW, and he explains it far better than I can. But the gist of the argument is most games are tests of reflexes. If you play
Hmm.
something like Fortnite
Yeah.
or Call of Duty, it's about being faster than your opponent.
Yeah.
And there's some strategy involved in it too, but ultimately what it's going to come down to is you were faster on the draw than the other guy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
WoW is a test of patience because all of your shit is on cooldown.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know how to rotate your cooldowns, rotate your abilities so that you always have one active,
Yeah.
and know like when it's optimal to use one over the other, what, you know, variation of abilities and blah blah blah. But it's not about being faster or like
Yeah.
outmaneuver. It's really a test of patience. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Uh, and I am not a patient man, so I lose a lot. But but it's not a hard game. It became famous because it was an easier MMO than anything else at the time. That's why
At
it
the
was such a big hit because it's like, yeah, this is like
mm,
EverQuest, but easy.
but yeah. And I do think it's kind of ironic that he has the reputation of being a corporate shill, yet his username is Pirate Software.
Yeah. uh, don't think he really thought too long and hard on that name because he also had a YouTube short of him saying like, "Oh yeah, I got a lot of shit for my name because I'm when I show up like at a con or something as a vendor, they're like pirate. Like get the fuck out of here. We do legal shit here, dude. Like you're not gonna fucking upload our shit on a torrent or some or whatever the fuck."
Yeah.
uh, but it's like, uh, too late to change it now, I guess.
Yeah. And it to me, after like hearing all this stuff, it just seems like he just can't admit like when he makes a mistake.
There were
And
a lot of people like that at Blizzard,
yeah. And
and a lot of them were mostly like upper management.
yeah.
um,
I mean,
that's
there's a lot
yeah,
of
he
people
was
like that. I think like everywhere,
and
and
everywhere,
it's
yeah. But if
and
he's going to tote that Blizzard flag as much as he is, I'm going to point it out that like, yeah, that's why the company's in the shitter. That's why
yeah,
Microsoft had to bail them out.
yeah, and it and it it's just yeah, like it's I don't know if you know if it's like narcissism or just the inability to like self reflect. I don't know.
it's
It's weird
uh,
to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all suffer from it from time to time. Uh, like I'll sometimes struggle to admit when I made a mistake or wrong. There's this one moment that like sticks out in my head because like I knew I fucked up, but I didn't want to admit it. Like at the time, I used to work at a casino at the Cage, and if someone won a jackpot and they wanted a check, I signed it. Wasn't my money, but I was authorized. I was on the bank account, so I could sign it. Um, there was one time when several jackpots were run one in a row. I don't know if it was the same person or just like the same group of people, and they all wanted checks. And so they all came, to the back, asked us for the check. The floor attendants came to the back and asked us for a check. And um, my coworker filled out like everything that was needed on the check except for one minor detail. We also had to write down the jackpot number on the back of the check. And she was like, "Hey JJ, I already like filled out all these things, but they're asking me to help them out with something else over there." And it was like another jackpot, I think, but that one needed to be paid out in cash. And I was doing my own shit, but I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, I got you, whatever, like, blah blah blah." But she was always really buddy buddy with the floor attendants, And then, which is fine, we were all supposed to be on the same team, but we kind of had a bit of a rivalry with the floor attendants because, from our perspective, they were taking our tips because when we paid out a jackpot to them, we took all the risk because if we overpaid them, we'd get that money taken out of our check. But they'd just get tipped out. Like they're supposed to count the money too, and if they don't notice it and they don't say
They don't get a
nothing,
punishment. No.
they don't get a punishment. So it was always like kind of like, well, that's kind of fucked up. And then on top of that, it kind of benefits them to not say anything because they'll get a bigger tip if it's more money. uh, but so she was. That's that like side of it where we kind of had a bit of a rivalry with them, or like unfriendly terms sometimes. And I pretty much, she asked me to do one thing: write the jackpot number on the back of all the checks. I forgot to do it. So then when she came back, I was like, ah, man, I fucked up. I can't let her know that. I was like, well, that's what you get for doing favors for the floor attendants. But like, looking back on it now, I'm like, you fucked up, dude. Like, you shouldn't have done that. But at the time, I was like, yeah, don't be friendly with the fucking filthy floor attendants. That's what happens. You signed them. I don't sign them.
Hmm. Yep.
uh,
Yeah, the
but no,
mistakes on you.
yeah, no. Ultimately, the mistake was on me.
Mhm.
And thankfully, we were able to track down all those checks and fill it out. I don't think it would have been too big of a deal. It might have just been
Yeah.
like an extra bit of paperwork that would have caused a headache upstairs, but still, that's my like narcissistic moment where I'm like, I don't want to admit I'm wrong, but I was
Yeah.
totally wrong. um, so I think we're
Mm.
all susceptible to it, but this dude just keeps doing it.
Yeah.
He's got like this almost Karen like mentality sometimes, man. Like, bro,
Mm.
just walk it back a little. Like,
Yeah. And um and then to get to the actual update, I mean, it's clear he doesn't agree with stop killing games, and he's made that very clear. He doesn't agree with it, and he does not support the movement. With that said, though, some good has come from all of this because as of this recording, I'm looking at it right now. They are at 76% of the goal, which is 1,000,000 signatures. And so, yeah, right now they're at 762,871. Again, only people from the EU and the UK can sign this
yeah, I forgot
petition.
that little tidbit in the original, in the last show. But yeah, only
Yeah,
because
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, this is an initiative that's being pushed for their government, but the general idea is, and this is true, is if they make a change, they're a big enough market that it will pretty much force game companies to implement those same changes to everybody, and that
yes,
is true because
we
what was it called, GDPR or
yeah, global
yeah,
data
where
protection.
yes, that and they started in the EU that
Yeah,
they put privacy protections. They made it law that you can get your private information removed from companies if they submitted like I guess a ticket for it.
yeah,
And
you
so
can request your data, and then they have to send it to you, and you can also request the removal of all your data, and they have to do that and send you a copy like of all the data that was removed.
hmm,
And uh there's another aspect to it, but I forgot. The big one that I remember was like the right to forget, because like now with modern technology. You post
Mhm.
something on the internet, it's there forever, and
It's
that
there
was the
for
big
yeah,
thing that they were trying to tackle. Where it's like that's kind of fucked up. It shouldn't be on there forever. Like,
yeah. So yeah, and so to use Blizzard as an example, when those GDPR rules took effect, Blizzard thought, you know what, it's just easier to do it to every single player in the world as opposed to just the ones in the EU. So
yeah,
they implemented those privacy rules for everybody.
and
So
then for us, for customer service, it really like changed the way we did shit.
we, yep.
I think back on those days sometimes because now the company that I work at, like, it's always privacy is very important. It's one of their like founding pillars. So now I'm seeing it from the other perspective where like GDPR has existed and this company has always been kind of like based on privacy and they're like at Blizzard we were just like, oh, you forgot your password, dog? Send me your ID. Like, I'll unlock that shit for you right now. Like, just
Yeah.
give me all them digits on your ID. Let me see your face.
Mhm.
And like, and back then, like I remember I would get pissed off at people that were like, "No, I'm not gonna send you my ID." I'm like, "Why not, dog? Like, what? You don't trust me?"
Yeah. I the thing that would always like bother me was when they would send it, but they would like hide like a bunch of like they would like draw like
Yeah.
black lines hiding the. I'm like, dude, what the fuck do you think I'm gonna do with this shit? Like, what the fuck do you think I can do with the ID number of your driver's license? You know, and it's like now in this world, okay, I get it, but what the fuck can I do with that driver license number? It's not like I can open a bank account with that.
It would really piss me off. Yeah, like going back to what you were saying, like the whole point of us asking for the ID is to make sure that the name on the account
Yeah, we're trying to
is,
prove that it's you,
yeah,
and you're hiding shit.
and you're literally covering the one thing that I need. I don't know what you look like, dog. Cover the picture. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Funny enough, that's the one thing they would not hide: the picture. But like to understand, the important things that we need is like the name and like the birthday, and maybe, and even then, like not really, because we could just check the IP. Is your location, not even your like home address, just where are you? But they'll hide that shit.
I went to see if
They'll
I had
cover it
something that was.
up, and then it's this like
Yeah,
back and
they'll
forth.
pull one of these. Where this is my
Yeah,
library card, so it's not it's not a
yeah.
big deal. But they're like, here you go. It's like,
And
dog.
it's like I can't see your name, and that's what I'm trying to confirm. Yeah, no, I get it now, but oh,
Yeah, no,
maybe
I
okay,
totally get it now, but
but yeah,
it's funny to think that like back then I had like
it
three
was just
people on chat like, dog, just send me your ID, bro, and I'll unlock this for you like right the fuck now.
yeah,
I'll
right.
even send you like a fucking brontosaurus mount that's worth $1 million.
Yeah, I I always just thought it was funny when you would ask for the ID and some people would just send a selfie. It's like, cool, you look good in this picture, but it that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
um, but all right, let us now move on to our last topic. We're gonna have to go through this one really quick because we're almost out of time.
Oh, it's fine. If it's what I think it is, it's gonna be real quick.
Yeah, the running dude.
Running man, burning out the streak. Here. No wait, That- that's Rocket Man.
Yeah, that's Rocket Man. I thought you that's what you were going for, like a parody. I'm the running man. Saying it on the
Ah, but
Yeah.
yeah, the Running Man remake.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't know it was going to be directed, or it is, because it's coming out now.
Hmm.
Movie's done. They done made it. I didn't know it's directed by Edgar Wright.
Right.
This is probably the first like Arnold movie remake that I'm like, this could be good.
Yeah.
This could be good. Because like Total Recall sucked. When Conan was, I didn't hate Conan, the
Hmm.
Jason Momoa one, but it wasn't great. Like no one remembers that one.
I never saw it.
I saw it in theaters and I was like, I had fun with it, but yeah, like it's not.
It's not as good.
It's no crush your enemies, see them driven before
Yeah.
you, and hear the lamentation of the women. Like there's like no quotes in that, man.
Yeah.
um,
And but yeah, no, this one with Glenn Powell
man, his
and
stock is
is
on the
based,
rise.
yeah, is based on a Stephen King book of
Yeah,
the
that much
same
I knew.
name. Yeah. So right now, like the trailer, oh yeah, the trailer just dropped today as of us recording this. So there isn't too much info out there besides the trailer. But so far, from what I can see, it looks like this movie might be closer to like the book
Yeah,
compared to the original Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
yeah. A lot of those Arnold movies that were based on sci-fi books kind of
Hmm.
played it a little fast and loose with because I think
Yeah.
they were both short stories. Because Total Recall is definitely a short story. Like it's not.
Uh-huh.
There's not too much meat on that bone. I mean, there's enough for you to produce something, but not like an hour and a half long fucking classic
Mhm.
with Arnold's eyes bulging out and fucking Mars. Uh, and I think the same with The Running Man. I think it's a Stephen King like novella. It's like 50 pages or something in book form, not in script
Mhm.
form. So
Yeah.
like, there's
I mean, I have the Wikipedia page pulled up for the Stephen King novel, and it says that it's 219 pages.
oh,
The
I was
book.
wrong then. Never mind. I thought I could have sworn it was like a novella because like I think Shawshank's a short story, so I thought it was one
Yeah.
of those where like oh,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
all right, guess I was wrong then.
Yeah, and it was published under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, so it didn't even say Stephen King.
Mm.
Um, but
He
yeah, but for those of you unfamiliar with the Running Dude, the the premise is he's competing in like a TV show, like a reality show, where he's hunted by pretty much the public for 30 days. And if you survive the 30 days, you get a grand prize money. I forgot how much it was. Was it like $1 billion or some shit like that? You got a
probably.
fuck ton of money. And these motherfuckers are desperate, so that's why they sign up for it. But up to no one has won the grand prize. That's the big like thing they brag about. No one's won this. No one's ever won it before. So that's the premise. Will this running dude be the first grand prize winner? Um,
Also, for any Jean Claude Van Damme fans out there, it's kind of like Hard Target, only it's cyberpunk. So
yeah,
Arnold doesn't punch a
huh,
snake, but there's probably a dude with like snake for eyes or something.
right. But yeah,
Yeah, I I really didn't make the connection until you were describing the plot. I was like, this is Hard Target, where this is the most dangerous game, if you will, the classic novel, uh, where man hunts man.
Mm, but yes, uh, but yeah, it looks pretty good. Um,
And so does
well,
Glenn Powell.
uh, yes, yes,
He could get it.
yep, yes, he can.
Man, like that dude's come up is so weird to me because like I didn't watch a whole lot of movies like as they came out last year. So I was watching like YouTube and fucking like Chevy commercial, and I'm like, oh cool, some random handsome dude selling me Chevys. Then I see a trailer for Twisters and like the fucker that
It's
was
the
just
same
selling me a
guy.
Chevy. Like, wait, and he's
Yeah,
in the Netflix movie Hitman too? Like, what the fuck?
yeah. I think the one that like started like his like okay he was in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah,
So like I think that was like his okay, and then just boom, like just
hit the
movie
ground
after
running,
movie.
just
Yeah.
hit after banger after certified banger.
Yep. So.
Cause yeah, I Top Gun Maverick good. Uh,
Mhm,
Twisters also good,
mhm,
surprisingly good. I genuinely like
mhm.
from the very pit of my soul, I thought that movie was gonna bomb. like, and it wasn't for nothing like I didn't like the cast or I didn't like the director. It was just like, dog, it's been like 20 years since the last Twister. I don't think this is gonna survive, man. Like we have super tornadoes like every Wednesday now. Like people ain't scared of them. But there I was watching Glenn Powell like fucking rescue people from a rodeo twister, and I was like, get him! Like fucking shoot the tornado! And that Hitman movie on Netflix, I think that was
Mhm.
like my least favorite one, but it was still enjoyable. Like,
Yeah. Oh no, I have another one that was the least favorite, but I know you didn't watch it. Anyone but you. That's the one where he was with Sydney Sweeney.
oh yeah, no, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, that you don't have to.
And that's what I heard too.
Yeah,
It might have been
it's
from you.
yeah, probably was me. Yeah, it's not that good. But everything else, yeah, just great. So yeah, I have a lot of hope for this one. Uh, but yeah, looks good. Comes out November, I believe.
Ooh,
November 7th. So
hell
there
yeah.
you go.
Fun times.
So, mhm. All right, and I think that'll do it for this episode. As always, you alphas are the true alphas of the show. Let us know in those comments. Are you gonna watch The Running Dude? Do you think Pirate Software is a corporate shill? um, and are you gonna play Resident Evil 9? And or did Pragmata catch your attention from the Capcom presentation? Or just say hi. And Marvin, again, I'm sorry. But yeah, just drop us a comment. We'll be sure to read it in the next one. And if you drop a comment on Spotify, I'll do a better job of checking it.
Oh, Dita, you know I never look back there.
but, but yeah, but yeah, drop us a comment. We'll read them. That'll do it for this one. So until then, we'll see you all on the next one. Peace.